What's up?
What's going on, lady?
Look, I was looking at the bill. I was like, dang, Moody real clear tonight.
I'm
You
using my cell phone tonight.
hold on, I gotta turn my volume up because I can't hear. My internet acting real stink too.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, it's acting like it's acting mad stink for real.
It's acting like it's on the
All right, what's going on?
That man been running all day. When I
Girl,
say all day, I'm beat.
I feel you. I promise you, I feel you. I
I
say
almost was like,
this
not
week,
tonight.
this week. Well, I know, huh? This week won't me out.
Yeah, like I couldn't even.
So,
I
uh,
couldn't even.
yeah, going on. All right, all right, all right.
Man, man.
All right. So the topic of tonight.
The topic. Let me see.
Uh,
Can I put this up there?
let me tell you something. So with the topic of the night, um, so we were talking about, you know, the gun laws, right? So why did I
Mm-hmm.
earlier today? Why did I look at a video that says they've passed a law, an assault rifle, an assault weapons law?
What?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was trying to do a little bit more research on it, and I got to find out if they passed an assault rifle, or excuse me, an assault weapon law. Like
Mm-hmm.
basically stating that anybody that owns an assault rifle or round, any large round capacity gun is illegal now. So I'm trying to get more.
What?
I've been trying to look all day to find out about this. Because let me tell you something. I hope that ain't true.
I looked up. I looked up some gun laws in North Carolina, and basically like we was talking, what I'm saying, yesterday. One of the questions was, do I need to register my guns? And it states no. The U.S. nor the state of North Carolina does not require firearm registration. However, you must follow the state gun laws to avoid any charges. So whatever, what I'm saying, North Carolina state, their actual gun laws is you got to follow that so you ain't getting charged or penalized or whatever.
Yeah, so what
So.
confuses that's what confuses me. If we got to follow the law, and you're saying, and the crazy thing, because you heard of ghost guns, right? You ever heard of a ghost gun?
Uh-uh.
So a ghost gun
No.
is a gun that you build that has no serial number. That has no serial number whatsoever.
Oh.
You can basically buy all the components to build this gun
Uh-huh.
and legally possess this gun because there are no laws in place for these unregistered guns. Yeah, they're called ghost guns.
That's
So,
crazy.
so why are we?
I ain't
Why
never
are
heard of that.
this? Uh, yeah. It's because it was a big deal because people were out here building ARs and building handguns with no serial numbers. So when they get pulled over, or they get caught, as long as it's open, they not getting in trouble. Uh,
Right. And North Carolina is an open carry state. So
right.
ugh, it's kind of tricky though. Like, see, I own a gun, but like my stuff is registered. I have a concealed carry permit. Like I got all that stuff. Like I'm like straight legit with mine. But
Right.
a lot of people not like me. They have all that stuff or whatever.
Yeah, me either. Me,
But so, okay, so
I own a lot of guns, and and like from the post from the what were you about to say? What was you going to say?
so I was just basically
Uh,
saying because I was looking at something and it was like, can I open carry in my car? Right. So basically, it says
yeah,
yes, you can open carry if it's not concealed or not readily accessible and visible. This means that the handgun must be openly displayed or in a locked glove box, locked console, or in the trunk. It cannot be under the front seat or in an unlocked glove box or so you mean to me I can't have my gun in the side of my car?
that,
Like
well, you
in
can't.
like I
Well,
got
see,
my
that's the
door
uh-huh. Well, see, that's the crazy thing.
like
I just got pulled
my
over the other day, and I always put mine on the dashboard. I always throw mine on the dashboard.
mhm.
I was there, and no cop has said absolutely anything to me. They see it, and it's
So,
out plain
but that's
sight.
if you get pulled over though.
Right. So I mean, so what's the difference between getting pulled over and driving down the street with it? I mean, what's the difference between getting pulled over or driving? I got all the guns. Friday, you stupid. Yeah, look. So I'm trying to find out about this assault rifle. If anybody in this can help me out with this assault rifle, because I have a ton of assault rifles. Now they're saying that the people who've already purchased them are how are you grandfathered in on owning them when they're illegal? If they're saying they're illegal, I need somebody to help me out with this. Uh,
I, I, I
Cause
don't
I'm
know,
showing up
but we can
going
go.
down to.
Look,
I'm
we're gonna
showing.
have to go to
Showing up,
Google on that one.
I was about to say because I'm showing not going to go down to the police department and say, "Hey, look, I got a question. I know
Yeah,
assault
because then
rifle,
they're gonna be looking at you like, now why he asked me that question? You know what I'm
right?"
saying?
Because all of them are registered, so they know I own them. The thing is, Friday, there are no permits when it comes to purchasing assault rifles. You don't have to. It's considered a rifle. I use it for hunting. I use it for sport, and I use it to protect myself if I have to. You know what I'm saying? At home, it's not like I'm
But you know
walking.
what?
It's not like I'm walking around the streets with an assault rifle in my car or driving around
Yeah,
with an assault rifle in my car. I don't
but
need
I
anything.
don't know. It may you may be able to do it because and well, those was like shotguns and stuff. But Walmart sold guns, and you did have to have them for
But you know,
some,
Walmart
but
no
some of them
longer.
you didn't have to have permit.
But so you know, Walmart no longer supports the Second Amendment, so they don't sell any guns anymore. And this is the thing, because rifles are different from
No, they don't.
handguns.
They don't. They
So Walmart
stopped that
no
right before
longer
I
sells.
left.
Yeah, Walmart no longer sells handguns. They still sell rifles because if you look at how they classify a rifle, whether it's an assault rifle or not, whether it's an assault rifle or not, anything over 18 to 21 inches, if I'm not mistaken, is considered a rifle. No matter if it's an assault rifle or not,
Mm-hmm.
no matter if it's AR, an AK-47, or a 50 caliber rifle, it's considered a rifle, and they classify that as a hunting rifle. Even with the caliber as big as it is,
Wow.
knowing that a lot of us hunters don't
Mm-hmm.
use that high of a caliber to hunt. Because I hunt, we don't use that size of a caliber, but I can use it for home defense as well too. I mean, because that's logically where you would actually use an assault rifle for.
Right. Right. But
To,
then, like, you still have your handguns and like these. Some of these laws they try to get you to sign. What was the one you were saying that they vetoed?
so here in
It
North
was,
Carolina, they vetoed it, but they overrode it. So now you no longer need purchase permits. No longer need purchase permits when you go buy a firearm now. So all you gotta do is just walk in there with your license. They'll run a background check, and if the background check comes back, you're fine. But they also have something that's called the red flag law.
mm-hmm.
So that may prohibit some people from purchasing firearms. It's called a red flag law. Now, that's up to the discretion of the people running the test. but I'm assuming they have a list of things that put you on the red flag law. You know what I'm saying? See, I wouldn't worry about the assault rifles. It's not in area. Yeah, man, but it's not the fact that you worried about it because it's not everyday use. What kind of can they come to my home because they know I have all my assault rifles registered? I need to find that out. I'm gonna call a
They
buddy of
have to
mine.
have a reason to come to your home. Like
They
you ain't done nothing wrong. You're not having no
absolutely,
criminal activity or nothing
believe it or
like
not,
that going on. So no, they're not gonna come to your home.
they don't have to have a reason. They can come to your home. Yes, ma'am. Do you know that it's a law in
But
place
like
that
Friday said, you gotta have a warrant.
it says if you live within 100 miles of ocean anywhere in the United States, that they're allowed to come in and pretty much I'm gonna look at it. I don't want to misquote anything, but they're allowed to come in your house unannounced and pretty much violate your rights. But the crazy thing about it is, it also allows you to defend yourself against them as well too, because that was the reason why assault rifles were that we as citizens were allowed to carry assault rifles was to protect us against the government.
Hmm.
So,
And
but
then
yeah,
that's called the what's that? The castle law, I believe.
hmm
The castle law or the stand your ground. What's
well, I
NRA
know.
Friday?
Let's see,
Upstairs, puppy.
the National Rifle Association. Yeah,
Oh,
let's see, Castle Law. We're gonna look up Castle Law as well too. Let's see, in North Carolina, because it varies from state to state now. And
yeah.
you got to realize certain laws vary from if an intruder invades a person's space, the property owner can legally use deadly force against him and her with no legal obligation to back down. The rights
Yeah.
extend to the person's home, but also his or her vehicles and workspace under North Carolina law.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
And
also
then
North.
like when I took my concealed carry class, basically he didn't want to say this, but he said it, and I went back and I researched and I was like, oh my God. So basically when you're protecting or defending yourself, the best thing for you to do is they say shoot to stop the threat. But in all actuality, what they're saying is shoot to kill. Because if you shoot them and you shoot them in the foot or you shoot them in the kneecap, guess what? They can then in turn sue you because you didn't kill them. But if they're dead, they can't kill you. That's what they're teaching these law enforcement people and everything. They taught me
You know,
that in my class. So if I ever had to shoot somebody, I don't. I was like, I just don't want to shoot him like in the foot to get him away from me. He was like, no, you shoot
but
to stop the threat. I was like,
do you know? Do you know? And now I'm gonna tell you something too. That's a catch-22. Do you know if you shoot that person the first time just to run them off or to scare them away, and then you shoot them a second time and you kill them? If you kill them with the second shot, you'll be charged with some type of manslaughter or murder or first degree, or like not first degree murder. You'll get manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter, or um, it could be classified as like second degree murder. I think first degree murder is like the highest you can get.
yeah, but that's why I said like I don't understand
So
why they do that, and then they still going to charge you for a crime, and you're protecting yourself or whatever.
because nobody knows the circumstances of why that happened. It's
That
basically
is true.
it's basically he say she say.
So
Uh,
you kill the person, and then
in my class, they say shoot to stop the threat.
so
If
they told me,
even if it's it has to be on equal playing ground too, though.
yeah,
Uh, to a degree. Like in your home, you can do whatever you want to. Out in town, you can't just like. I'm gonna tell you something that I always say. They're not educating people enough on firearms. I think that's the big disconnect. We were talking about it earlier. That's the biggest disconnect. They're not educating anybody. They're just basically giving a child a gun. And I mean, when I say child, I mean people. even if you're over
Oh,
21,
no.
20 years. It's like people just think that because you purchase a firearm that you can go out here and shoot people at random. Like if they make you mad, you can shoot them, and then you got people getting locked up. Because I've seen people come in a shop that I own and be like, "Yeah, I just got my permit. I wish somebody would say something to me. I'll put them down." I'm like, "And you going to jail for murder?" "Oh no, I'll get off." How?
Right.
I said, "What you talking about right
Right.
now is premeditated." I said,
Premeditated.
you
Exactly.
don't realize that North Carolina doesn't have a self defense law, and self defense in North Carolina is considered stand your ground.
Stand your
You
ground.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that has to be equal, or it has to be an equal threat or a higher threat. Like if somebody come at you, just pushing and shoving and trying to beat you up, you just can't automatically grab your gun unless they're gonna beat you to kill you. Their dads are teaching their kids how to shoot when they are young. Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to, but you also teach.
They
That's how you teach guns, gun laws, gun safety. I mean, because basically, what do they say? The best defense is, I mean, the best teacher is like, what's how the quote go? Um, the best defense is offense, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You want to be education is the best weapon right there to know when to shoot and when not to shoot.
Yep.
People just think they can go around here and
Yeah.
shoot because they own a gun, and then they turn around and end up getting time, and also something that'll get you locked up too. Even if you shot somebody to defend yourself, you go around bragging about it. That's the first thing that gets you right there. Anything you
Yeah.
shoot, can and will be used against you in the court of law. If you shoot somebody, even defending yourself, when you get ready to turn yourself in, they're gonna question you. They want to know your side of the story, and some people are always compelled to tell what happened. Oh, let me tell
Right.
you what happened. They've been bothering me for 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, how come somebody didn't know they've been bothering you for 2 or 3 weeks? You know,
Right.
well,
And
so
they
it's
do, like Friday said, they do teach them at a young age because, for me being an assistant manager at Walmart, I was the one who had to sign for the guns and walk them out and all that stuff. And like they would say, they've bought rifles for their kids. A lot of them say it's for hunting and stuff because a lot of them do hunt, but then still with the hunting, it's still teaching them how to use a gun at a young age. And I can't even lie. Like special occasions, Fourth of July,
I
New
teach
Year's,
mine.
I let my kids shoot my gun
I
in
teach
the air
mine.
because you know how we do.
I
But
teach.
I have let my kids do that. Yeah, you have to teach them. You have to teach them gun safety as well. Yes, you can.
Well, that's
That
not
is
necessarily.
part of the council law.
So yeah, that is part of castle law, but you got to be careful with that one. Don't say that, Shay, because you got to be careful with that one. You got to be
You're
careful.
sitting in your car, the door's unlocked, they come beat on your window with a gun. What are you going to do?
See, that's different because that's standing your ground.
Right.
So Friday, be careful when you with people. Just be careful about the circumstances that you have to pull your. Put like this: if you ain't ready to go to jail, you don't need to own a firearm.
Friday said if it's sitting in your driveway,
If it's in your driveway, um, if you can walk out
it's
there
still
and run them
it's
off, you can run them off,
man.
but I wouldn't unless you can prove without a shadow of a doubt you were in fear for your life. Just because somebody breaking in your car, sir, don't mean you have the right to put them down. That's in the state of North Carolina. That doesn't always mean like in Louisiana and Texas it's different. You drop them where you stand. And the person that's allowed to tell the story, what's up, Eric? And the person allowed to tell the story, it is just what it is. But you got to be careful because different state laws say different things, y'all. Don't get it twisted. Not all the same laws apply for every state. I think California. I think like I used to have a concealed weapons license from Texas. So there's only 30. I want to say 37 to 39 states that I can carry conceal in with my Texas with my Texas concealed license. North Carolina being one of them. California wasn't one of them. And did you know you can also ship your gun on the plane, depending on where you're going? You can
So
check
listen,
your gun.
I forgot the
You
name
can
of
check
the
your
thing
gun.
that I had. They would send me links and information and stuff about my guns, where I can carry my guns at, and
Yep.
stuff like that. It had a whole map of. I wish I could have found it. I actually looked for it before we had came on, but they had stopped sending me stuff. I forgot, but they used to send me stuff all the time.
My 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 biggest thing.
I've
My my biggest things on guns is everybody always trying to blame the gun on the outcomes of these things that are happening around the world. Let me just say that. And we were having a discussion about it the other night. Matter of fact, me and Carmen were actually having a discussion about it the other night about guns because
mm-hmm,
she doesn't like guns. Because I'm a gun advocate, but I was saying, well, you know what? They need to educate people more about guns and the law and how to carry a gun.
right,
And and and
right.
she was like, and I don't want to misquote her. She was basically saying that uh, guns guns could potentially be the bulk of the problem. No, it's not. It's the people who are carrying the guns or applying for the guns. You you can check somebody's mental health when you purchase the gun, and they could be fine. You know, and they could be fine for 10 years and then just snap. But they already own a gun. It's not the fault of the gun or the people who sold the gun. It's that person. You can't. That's something you cannot predict. Somebody's mental status.
That's
That's one.
right.
That's one deterrent. And I get it frustrates me when people be like, "Well, they need to run more background checks." They're running every possible background check they possibly can on people. They can't at the time. Just because things change, I go in there and I buy a gun and I'm a law-abiding citizen. You know what I mean? 2 months
Right.
from now, I have a breakdown. I may go crazy. I want it, not saying that I am. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just using myself
That's
as
why
an example.
they make
I
sure
may,
that
I may
you're in the right mental state.
right. So you can run all the tests on me you want to right then and there, and I may pass every last one of them. But that doesn't necessarily mean months down the road or years down the road, my mental state may change. You can't
Right.
dictate. You can't punish everybody for the small amount of people. My heart goes out to anybody that's lost anybody to gun violence. But at the same time, I'm like this. Just think about some of the people who have been guns also saved the lives of those people that who weren't who were like with the shooter this past weekend, the young the transgender uh, person who killed those 6 people, I think it was. Just think
Mm-hmm.
we lost 6 people, and that's sad in any event. But just think about how many more people were saved because the police
Yeah.
came in and took action using guns. So guns is damned if you do and it's a damned if you don't type of situation.
Yeah. You
Everybody.
got to be
I
careful
think
with everything
be
you
more
do. Use
educated.
wisdom.
Right,
That
right. That's what
that's my best
every
advice. Use wisdom when handling it or whatever.
right. Because if you take away guns, what do people use to defend themselves? Or people will adjust to. They'll start using knives. They'll start using bats.
Yep.
They'll start using other weapons. So you
Yeah.
can't the law-abiding citizens because they want to protect themselves and their family and their property for the people who want to do something illegal and take people's lives, or
Right.
you know what I'm saying, or put people in harm's way. I mean, how you gonna disarm me and leave me
Right.
because the people who breaking the laws gonna find a way to get what they want. So now you what's up, E?
Go ahead, Moody.
What's that? So now you arm all the criminals and you disarm all the people who use them to support themselves. Not to support but
Right.
to defend themselves. Now we're sitting here just like some states. I know Jersey, I want to say Jersey, New York, you can't even travel through those states or to those states with a firearm. You know what I'm saying? Because or you'll get a fine, and you'll get a fine for the firearm and the bullets that you have in the magazine. So if
Oh,
Eric,
see, I need to
Eric,
get my thing back because
we can't hear
I
you. Yeah, we can't hear you, Eric. So, and this the thing. So if I'm visiting my cousin in New Jersey, and I don't have my firearm, and I got North Carolina tags, all criminals know that I don't have a firearm, and
ooh,
I pull up in my nice Mercedes Benz to pump gas in my car. Everybody know or assume because I'm
yeah,
from town and I should know the laws as I'm passing through these states that I can't, announce that I have a firearm, but they're taking 50-50 chance that I don't have one and come up and now I'm left open to be robbed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That criminals are
yeah,
gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So how can I don't understand how that works. And then you gotta realize states like that have a it seems like have a higher crime, you know what I'm saying, have a higher crime level because of those laws. If you even the playing field and arm the people, the citizens who want to, just protect themselves versus the criminals, and I hate to use
yeah.
criminals, I mean, because anybody can be a criminal. I'm just not saying,
Right.
you know what I'm saying. I don't want to,
I know what you're saying.
you know what I'm saying, and because that's what it is. You're not a criminal till you are caught for a crime. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we've all at some point in time done something to break the law. Let me say that. So we're not all like, you know what I'm saying, like stealing a piece of bubble gum from the store. You a criminal. If you didn't get caught, you just didn't get caught. That person got caught
Yeah.
doing the same thing you did. They're considered a criminal. They stole a 5-cent piece of gum. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't want people to think that I'm bashing criminals because I ain't always been a saint all my life. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
the thing
So
is,
how often do you go practice shooting your guns?
man, look, as often as I can, because ammo ain't cheap, and they running out of it, so I ain't shooting as much as I want to. But you gotta realize I'm a soldier too, so I ain't lost it. So, but I definitely get my fair share of shooting
I
in.
had when I did my concealed carry. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell you what the man said. He was like, because when I was in high school, I won the marksmanship award because I was the best shooter.
Uh,
And when I did my concealed carry, he was like, "Have you shot a gun before?" I was like, "Well, like a BB gun, like the marksmanship." He was like, "Women always shoot better than guys.
women,
Like the
it's a known
bullseye,
fact.
like I hit it every time.
It's a known
I
fact.
hit it.
Women are better. They're accurate, and then people who have never
Yeah,
shot their arm are always better because they don't have any bad habits. My
yeah."
second
And then
my second wife,
my
uh,
he was asking me about my eye. He was like, focus on something and do it and something other. So he was like, you're left eye dominant. He was like, do it again. You're right eye dominant. He was like, wait, you dominant out of both of your eyes, so you can really shoot either way. It was so funny how he was sitting there acting. I was like, you act like you ain't. I mean, like this new to you or something. Like I don't know.
my second wife, we took her shooting one time, me and a buddy of mine, man, and we were out back on his property, and we were shooting, and she was light, never shot a gun a day in her life. She was tagging it, bing, bing, bing. We looking at her like, what in the world? He's like, boy, you better watch out. I said,
Uh huh.
we were looking at people, we were looking up in a tree. Now this tree had to be a good 40, 50 feet in the air. 50 feet, yeah, a good 40, no, I'm gonna say a good 20 feet in the air. There was some mistletoe in the top of this tree. And he was like, yo, that tree right there grows mistletoe. He's like, see, there's a bunch of it right there. And I said, I'm gonna shoot it down. Man, I'm pulling it, bam, bam, missing it. She's like, I'll shoot it. Boom, hit it on the first try. I said, you know what? Give me
Yeah.
that. Give me that. Go sit in the
Yeah.
car.
He did say that women were better shooters.
Yeah.
So
Their
I was
react
like,
their, their reaction time is just like women. I know, God, I know they're gonna kill me for saying this, but women make better race car drivers.
"What?" I
their
wouldn't say
their
why I drive the way I drive.
their reaction time is a lot faster than men, and it's a proven point, fellas. You know what I'm saying? There is their reaction time is a lot faster. You ever see you drive with both feet? You ever drive with both feet? You know what I'm saying when I say drive with both feet? My ex-wife used to drive with both feet. And I'm like, why are you driving with? I could look over. She would make me car sick when driving, and I could look right over there. She's got a foot on the brake and the foot on the gas. She's driving with
I,
both feet. I said, you know what? I said, you keep doing that, I'm gonna stick you in a race car.
I can't drive with both feet. I mean
Drive with
I
both.
probably could if I chose to, but
Yeah,
uh, but my still my reaction time is real good compared to like I might have got into a wreck yesterday. And if I wasn't paying attention, because I'm always looking 10 steps ahead of me, if I wasn't paying attention, I would have hit that car, would have hit me in the side because the lady wasn't paying attention. So when
right.
she came out from the stop sign, I looked and I just slammed on brakes real quick. I'm talking about I was so close to her, I could stick my hand out my car and put it on her car. That's how close to her I was. And I'm short. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how close to her I really was. Let me see what Eric doing.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely. It's just educating people on firearms. I think is gonna be our biggest disconnect, because basically you giving people firearms and you're not teaching them absolutely nothing. You're giving them a couple of
Right,
safety, giving them a couple of safety, how not to shoot yourself or how to properly store a firearm from a minor. What about grown folks?
right.
What about the guy that sticks his gun in his pants and shoots himself in the leg? And or you see
Mm-hmm.
that you walking around here with the gun with the trigger cocked because you don't know whether you got a
Yeah.
single action, double action gun. I mean, I think it's about educating. You can never compensate for mental health when it comes to firearms.
No,
It'll
you can't.
never. You can try all you want to. You can run all the because literally the reason why North Carolina was having people get purchase permits because when you go to the sheriff department, they're supposed to be doing a mental check on you. And
Uh-huh.
that's supposed to be a mental check on you. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that anybody fell short at doing that job right there, but when when you go to the doctor, there's a reason why. Or when people say, you ever heard you ever call into a hotline and say like I'm a veteran. So whenever I call the VA for any kind of appointment or make an appointment or speak to somebody, it'll always say if you're having suicidal thoughts, you need to call this number right here. You need to hang up and call this number right here. So when some of us who call those numbers, uh, let's see, permits don't matter. If people want guns, they're gonna get them anyway. You're absolutely right. They'll tell us to hang up and call a number.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
when you call those suicide hotlines, they're tracking you. So they're tracking your mental status. So those are red flags that people
Mental health.
look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about veterans that got PTSD, that have a severe case of PTSD. Those could be possible red flags that they trying to tag us on. You know what I'm saying? Because if they're saying we're not mentally stable to be in society, and then that's a red flag of us owning a firearm. You know what I'm saying? Those are some of the things that they try to track with mental health. When you go to the doctor or you see a psychiatrist, all those things are logged somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They're logged in a database. So
Right.
when people do background checks on you, those are the things that they're checking on. What kind of crimes you've been convicted of, whether they're misdemeanors or felons. Because if you're a felon, they're telling you that you can't have a firearm at all. You know what I'm saying? But after a certain amount of time, you can have that part of your record expunged. And then if you have a misdemeanor, they'll keep you from getting a firearm if you have a violent misdemeanor. If you've ever been in anything like any kind of like domestic charges, things like that is what they track you on. So they can do all the leg work because you can be fine. You can have a person that's lived their whole life and never got in trouble, and just one day just
Mm-hmm.
decide to go in the closet,
You can
grab
snap.
grab their gun, and just stand at the top of a building and start shooting people. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way, and guns are not at fault
Yeah.
because but if it wasn't guns, it would be something else. They keep harping on assault rifles. Guess what? If it wasn't assault rifles, it's gonna be a handgun. If it's not handguns, what about bow and arrows? What about crossbows? What about other weapons that people can make from home? What about slingshots?
It's always
You,
gonna be
you're gonna ban
something.
slingshots, and then if you take everybody's weapons away, what about your hands? You absolutely right about that,
And you
and
know what, Max? That's
and that's
that
what I say
is
about
sad.
yes.
It's
That's why
really sad.
every time I go around, like if I have a firearm on me and I'm going around somewhere, like around my kids and younger kids are always fascinated with guns because they don't have them. You know, I say, oh, can I see your gun? No, you can't see my gun. Really? Well, what kind is that?
Mm-hmm.
What kind is that? Look, man, it's this kind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh man, uh, and they get to talking and they're curious about it. But what happens
So
is people shut them down, and I'll be like, look, man, you can't own a firearm till you legally 21. Somebody can gift you one, but you can't walk around and carry it. But it's all about educating. So what they do is when they can't get the knowledge they
right.
need, they go seek it from somewhere else, and they obtain it illegally. So now you walking around here, you ain't supposed to have a gun. You out here buying
I'm
guns, breaking into people's houses for guns, and yeah, what's up, Shay? I'm sorry, but Maxie, right?
I'm gonna
It's a
tell you
big problem.
something that broke. Yes, it really is. But I'm gonna tell you something that really broke me when I first got my gun. I think I done had my gun now like 5 years. When I first had my gun, I would keep it in my purse, and but I have it in my car locked up. But one day I forgot that I had it in my car, and I told one of my boys to go outside and get my gun. I mean, get my purse out of the car. Long story short, he got my gun. Listen,
Right,
it was my baby boy, and he he pulled it out on my oldest son. My oldest son ran in the house crying, "Mama, mama, mama! Oh my God, why put a gun on me?" Luckily, the crazy thing is, if you don't know how to use my gun, you would never get one shot off. It has three different safeties on my gun. So
right.
all my safety was on. My trigger is a safety, the back end is a safety, and then the safety is up top. So I got three different safeties on my gun.
Yeah,
He didn't know how to do that. But I'm gonna tell you something. That scared the crap out of me, Moody. Like I
right.
was shook. I think I was more shook than what my son was. But after that happened, I sat him down and I explained to him, I said, look, this is what this is. I'm going to show you. I showed him what it was. We walked outside, we shot it in the air. Well, I showed him some videos and I sat him there. I said, listen, I said, you can't play with stuff like this. I said, because what if you would have accidentally pulled the trigger or figured out how to actually use my gun? I said, and you
Yep.
shot your brother and he was dead. What would you do? How would you feel? He was boo-hoo crying. I never had no issue out of that again, but that scared the mess out of me.
And it should. It should.
Max said,
You're responsible. You're the gun owner is responsible if somebody uh, accidentally kills himself in the home. Yeah, I saw the other day that the senator,
yeah. And
even
that
with more strict gun laws,
and
it
the
will
reason
not.
because that is because it should be locked up in a gun safe or somewhere.
Right. And
It
I
should be
believe in
locked up
trigger.
in a gun safe. The
I believe
senator
in
said
trigger
that
lock.
even more
I
so.
believe in safes. You know what I'm saying? I believe in trigger locks and safes. And
Yep.
people are well. If I got a lock on my gun and somebody breaks in my house, trust me, you got enough time to get to that firearm. If somebody breaking your house, and but the thing is, the thing you don't want to happen is because your
I
house is
don't
not.
know because where mine at, it's gonna take a minute to get there.
Oh, well, I mean, on mine it ain't.
Where my gun is, but even if I did put it in my It,
Right.
it is. And my husband was like, you need to bring this in the house. And I'm like, I'm so terrified to bring it in the house. But I got my gun safe and I got another safe. Get out of here while I'm talking. Cause see now y'all being nosy. I can't even tell you now. I'll tell you later how I got
Mommy, did you tell him
Yeah.
what you told me earlier?
What?
About speaking.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Moody,
Yeah.
I know this ain't part of the show, but little me wants to come and she wants to say something. She said she got something she wants to
Well,
say.
we want to hear what you got to say then.
Yes, I
Tell her she got to be on camera.
They got to talk to me to that podcast then.
Which,
Lord have mercy. I keep mine in a high place that only I can get to. I understand, but I'm scared.
I know it's not the
yeah,
topic,
I'm
yeah.
scared.
but this should be
I
our
keep
topic
yeah
next.
mine. I keep mine.
I'm not gonna be on
I,
next
I
week.
got to stay.
Oh yeah, Moody, I'm not gonna be on next week.
Okay, because you got that thing. That's
Why
fine.
won't you be on next week?
That's fine. Yeah. Well, she has an
Yeah, so
event.
me and you gonna have to get together so I can show you.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yeah, but I have safe, and all mine have trigger locks on them, and they're in
Are you
a
still
safe.
gonna be watching it?
Like rifles are in. If I because I got so many rifles, like the ones that are not in the safe are in cases. They're in locked cases. That is. But I'm a doomsday
Mm-hmm.
prepper. I'm a doomsday prepper. So I'm a little nutty when it comes to my guns. As far as like, they're ready to roll when I'm ready to roll. Like if the if an apocalypse happen, or everything is in cases and stuff and bags that we can run up out of here with. But that don't mean y'all come to my house now.
That whole part.
Uh,
That part. I can't. No. Uh-uh. I don't play that. And my kids and my husband know, like, they little friends and stuff be coming over. But as far as like
uh,
having people like at my house, no. Cause I got a whole. I really don't trust people. You know what I'm
right.
saying? It's hard for me to trust people. But me and my husband, we the same way. We don't deal with a lot of people. You know, and then my kids, they're like they little friends and stuff come over. But honey, when they get out the house and they grown, and it's just me and my husband left here.
Right.
Honey, me and my husband gonna have us a party, just the both of us.
Don't get me.
No, ma'am. You gonna be grown and gone.
She said,
No.
"Don't forget."
That's the point.
I know that's right.
So what you had to say?
The money.
Now she don't want to talk. Talking about never mind.
Right. That
Can
part.
I take on this table?
So yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think the key to it is just education. And just being mindful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just being mindful.
yeah.
I always watch your surroundings too. I mean, with all the shootings going on now, I'm very cautious when it comes to my surroundings and where I go and where I move. You know what I'm saying? How I move. I ain't playing. And people crazy nowadays. Yeah, I don't need to look. You stay on your side, and I stay on my side.
Right,
So,
right.
but
So
I but I
look,
but I, but I do believe in being well informed. And even when I'm going from state to state, I definitely want to be well informed about what I can and can't do because I've been caught. Look, not even been caught, but I remember I drove to Jersey to go visit my cousin, and I'm sitting here about to walk into a place with my gun on my hip. They're like, "What was you doing?" I'm like, "What?" They're like,
yeah,
"Man,
I ain't been caught yet, but I
you ain't supposed to have
definitely,
that
I
in
definitely
the
travel
state."
with mine. I definitely travel with mine. I'm gonna find the thing that they used to send me. I forgot what the name of it was, but they would send me emails all the time about my guns, the gun laws and stuff for the state of North Carolina. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna send it to you so that we can
Yeah,
be well versed in what we
yeah.
can and what
I
we
get
can't do. We probably come back later
I
and do another show
I get
like this
emails.
one.
Yeah, I get there's a so when I was in Texas, there's a program called Texas Law Shield, is what it's called. So
Mm-hmm.
it's basically like insurance that you can purchase that they sell you that you'll have a lawyer access you have access to a lawyer if something happens. That you have to use your firearm. And it gives you a card. It tells you basically what to say. It tells you don't say anything until your lawyer shows up because anything you say will get you in trouble. Yes, sir. Hey, Maxie, I was there in 2015 when they actually went open carry because before in Houston, I know when I was in Houston, it used to be a concealed carry state only. You could only conceal carry. If you had your firearm out, it was considered brandishing, and you'll go to jail. That's in the car. That's walking around. I think it changed in 2015. Is when they went to open.
Wow.
Is when they went to open carry. Like if you walk around and with your gun on your hip, like we do in North Carolina, it was considered brandishing. Now I think after 2016, they went open carry. Yeah, I mean I'm telling you, I be on my because
Wow.
so many
That's
different places.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? Like I got a gun, but I don't do nothing with it. Like I used to go to the gun range on Wednesdays because that's when women shoot free. If y'all in the Spring Lake, North Carolina area, women shoot free on Wednesdays at Gun Plus. But
What's
I
what's that
I
little
haven't even
spot over there
went
off of 87? What about the 80 Guns Plus? As you come into Spring
Guns
Lake?
Plus
Yeah, yeah.
in Spring
Boy,
Lake. Yep,
they guns is high.
that's where I got mine. So I got a Smith and Wesson MP Shield 9mm EZ,
Okay.
and like, I'm talking. It took me 3 years to find a gun that I wanted. And y'all know I love my nails. Y'all know I love my nails. And that gun was like perfect for me, holding it, loading it, everything. That gun, it was perfect. It took me 3 years. My brother was
Yeah.
like, "You ain't got no gun yet." I was like, "No, I haven't found one that I wanted that I was comfortable with shooting." So I would go there and I would shoot different guns to see
Right.
like what I wanted. But I really I want an AK. But my brother would told me no because
I
I'm crazy. So
I got
he told me I can't
I
have
got
one
a
of them.
I got a Century Arms carbine double stack AK-47. I love that thing. I love it. I love it. It's all black. It's all black. It's a double stack and she nasty. I got a couple ARs. I got a couple ARs. They've been I don't know. People they're just blaming it on the wrong thing. I hate people do that. It is not firearms, y'all. It's the people who are purchasing the firearms.
It's the
Can't punish
people.
if you lay the gun down on the ground. It
Yeah.
don't hurt no.
And then if you buy a gun for somebody else, you know how they say you can actually purchase a gun for somebody else in the state of North Carolina
Yeah,
and give it to them, like you said, as a
yeah,
gift. But it's going to be in your name. It's going to
yeah.
be uh, basically from you. So you got to be careful about buying somebody a gun and putting it in your name. Like you just can't do that. You got to make sure that they mental state, like we all said, is there because they go out and they kill somebody, it's gonna come back on you, or you gonna spend some time in jail. Because I know that some people that I know, a cousin used another cousin's gun, took her gun, shot somebody, didn't kill him, but ended up going to jail behind it. She was in jail for what, about a year or two. He was in jail about 2 years behind that. And then the person died, but it wasn't because of when they had got shot or whatever. But they ended up dying. But they took both of her guns that she had, even the one that was on her, and she still did some time. And because it was
Right,
her gun, she didn't do nothing. But that was her gun.
right. Yeah.
Maxie said that. Let me see what Maxie said. It's always wait. Hold on, I hit the wrong one.
It's always going to be
It's
the
always
people.
going to be the people. The fact is, a lot of mass shooters has. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Pretty well.
You're
Yep.
right.
And you can't blame it on the gun.
Yeah.
they kill, they killing it, man. It's just people are
It,
afraid of guns.
the gun
And
didn't do nothing but did what it was told to do.
right. Yep.
Yeah, the gun didn't do nothing but what it was told to do, and it was told to fire off. And guess what? That gun fired off. So you can't you absolutely right. You can't blame on it. It's actually the people.
Yep.
But it's 9:21, Moody. So
Yes, ma'am.
we're gonna wrap this thing up, and I'm gonna say that those of you watching, just use wisdom when purchasing
Yeah.
a gun. Do what you got. Do the right thing. Don't just go out saying I got a gun and I'm gonna shoot, shoot, shoot. No,
Yeah.
don't do that. Please,
Educate one.
always
Yeah.
use wisdom. always use wisdom. Know the laws for your state. If you're not in North Carolina, know the laws for your state, what you can do, what you can't do, the age requirements, all of that. Please know that information. And as I always say on my lives before I end my lives, I always be the change that you want to see. Always be the change that you want to
Oh yeah,
see. That's all I got to say.
no, that's right. Same. I always say the same thing. Y'all stop treating each other like you got tomorrow. I mean, if you just turn on the TV, man, we're losing people left and right. So stop treating everybody like tomorrow's promised to them. And definitely be careful out here with these guns and how you handle guns, how you store guns. Education about guns is the key. I think everybody needs to be properly educated about guns because that's just important as whatever. I mean, as long as you're proactive with educating people with guns, we may have less mass shootings if people know more information about guns as far as like what you can and can't do. I mean, you can't do anything about the mental health part. Just everybody just be careful and be safe and just kind of watch your surroundings when you're out and about, so we can minimize some of these mass shootings that's out here because it's getting ridiculous. And if they start disarming the people who need to be armed,
Absolutely.
more than the mass shootings is gonna go up. Because just like Maxie said, people are gonna find a way to do what they gonna do with these guns when it comes to people doing wrong. Yes, ma'am. That's it. That's all I gotta say for tonight. I appreciate everybody logging in and listening to us.
All right.
Anybody else got anything to say?
All right. On that note, good night, everybody. Thank you guys for watching.
All right,
I won't be on next week because I have it.
I'll be on. I'm gonna come up with
Booty
a good
will
time.
be on by himself. He gonna put it down. Booty, you got this, bro. You got this.
I
got this. And I still want you to things so you can go live on my page too. So.
Oh, all right.
But all right, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
All right.